Look, not good in any phase of the game. Felt like we had a good game, X's and O's wise. We just didn't go out there and execute, and that's what it comes down to every Sunday. I told the guys, this is NFL football. This is what it is, and we just have to be better. So the guys will be off the next few days. Told them to, get their minds right, get their bodies right, and then come back and be ready to work. Got a bonus Monday. Got another good team that we're going to go against next week. We just got to be better.
Jerod, you were blunt in your assessment of the offensive line in the preseason. How would you say they've grown since then, if at all, and kind of reflect on their performance today?
Well, I thought the offensive line today had a hard time. There were times earlier in the game where the pockets looked pretty clean, but as the game wore on, similar to last week, it started falling apart as far as the protections. And it's not only knowing, how to do it, it's also knowing what to do. And I would also say we had some injuries up front that, the next man has to be ready to go. And
Jerod, is this a mental, physical breakdown? Would you attribute both tonight?
Look, the first thing, I got to look at myself in the mirror and make sure that, I did everything I could to get the guys ready to go. And, based on the score today, I need to do more. But going back to what I said earlier, just got to hit the reset button. It's NFL football, and we have to get better.
What made you make the decision to put Drake in at the end there?
I just thought it was a good opportunity for him to go out there with the ones and put a few drives together. He moved the ball. We'll watch the film and evaluate.
Did the performance of the offensive line give you any pause when it comes to putting Drake in that situation?
Well, like I said, in the second half, I felt like our offensive line, they just weren't blocking the way they did at earlier parts of the game. It definitely was something that I thought of personally, but at the same time, I thought it was too good of an opportunity for him to go out there and get some experience.
Jerod only ran the ball 5 times in the first half today. There was a lot of talk this week about getting the ball to playmakers. Was the offense too concerned about getting the ball to playmakers?
I wouldn't say that. Look, we'll go back and look at the calls. What I will say is, some of those plays are called from the huddle, and then others, the quarterback has the ability to check, run, or pass. And look, what do we have, 100 yards in the first half? None of it was good, run, pass, or anything.
14 missed tackles?
Yeah, very uncharacteristic, and it's one of the things I'm very disappointed in as a, defensive-minded coach, especially, the second level. We struggled all day as far as tackling. Once again, even when we hit them in the backfield, just the lack of fundamentals, the lack of discipline, and the lack of just execution definitely continued to show up. But that was a very uncharacteristic for us. But once again, you only get one opportunity to go out there and perform.
Jerod, Jacoby got sacked 5 times. He's been hit 25 times, I think, in the first 3 games. How concerned are you for him going out there?
Yeah, you always got, the quarterback touches the ball every play. We have to do better up front. We have to, whether it's through scheme or whatever, we've got to reevaluate. And the good thing is it's Thursday, so it's a mini bye week where we as coaches can also reset and look at things that we could do better.
He gets hit, but he gets up every time, regardless of the grimace or not. What does that say to you just about the
It means a lot. It means a lot for a guy to, continue to get up. Toughness is always a huge piece of the puzzle for the quarterback position, but we just got to do better as a team.
You said you were going to evaluate the film based on quarterback performance. Is there a possibility you consider a change?
I don't know. Look, we talk about every single week, you're competing for a job. So we'll get together as a coaching staff and see where it goes.
How much did you miss Bentley from the get-go in this one?
I don't want to deal with hypotheticals, but Bentley's a huge piece of the defense, communication, tackling, physicality, all of those things. And look, I have faith in those other guys. I have faith in Raekwon. I have faith in Jelani and the rest of those guys to get better. It's a learning experience. Once again, we have to learn from this loss and get better. Bentley is not coming back anytime soon, and that's the message.
Was he more of a surgical clinic from Rodgers, do you think, when it comes to what he did tonight?
Yeah, he was getting the ball out fast, and I would say one of the more disappointing things was that we talked about ad nauseum was to keep him in the pocket. And I felt like we, at too many times, let him out of the pocket, and this is a guy who can make all the throws.
When you make the decision to put Drake in at the end of the game and take out Jacoby, is that your decision or is it ABP's?
That's my decision.
Jerod, not keeping him in the pocket, is that just a lack of focus and discipline?
Yeah, it's a lack of discipline. It's a lack of execution. And I wish I could sit here and say, well, these are things that have showed up, in practice, but they haven't. What I will say is there have been little things, not little things, they're big things, that happened last game that continued to show up today, and we have to get those corrected, and that starts with me.
Joe, how concerned are you about the pass protection?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
How concerned are you about the offensive line, the health, the pass protection, and do you believe you have the right personnel to know who to cover?
I mean, look, we just got beat pretty handily, and I would say right now everything's of concern. The offensive line, you want those guys to be able to go out there as a unit and gel together, but whether through injury or through whatever it is, we just haven't found the right combination.
Jerod, you guys were much more competitive the first 2 weeks of the season. What do you think the biggest change was tonight?
I would say controlling the line of scrimmage. And not to sound like a broken record, the last few games I told you guys that I thought we did a good job controlling the line of scrimmage and being a tough football team. We just didn't show that today in any phase of the game.
What needs to happen in the next 10 days in your mind to get ready to where you are to compete and beat San Francisco?
Look, we'll watch the film. Like I said before, we'll do a self-scout to see where we are. But once again, it comes back to fundamentals. I hate to keep saying that. That's what it is. And so we can sit there and talk about we should do this, we should do that. No, it's blocking, it's tackling, it's throwing, it's catching, it's running. It's all those things that we just did a poor job at.
Final question.
Thanks, guys.